Morning folks, Andy here from Bushcraft, coming to you from my kitchen. So today is going to be a sort of kit maintenance type video, specifically knife sharpening. Not of my own knife because it's good to go, but on my Enzo. I borrowed it to a mate a few weeks back because he's thinking about getting his own one, and then when he gave it back to me, he said he didn't want to sharpen it because he didn't want to wreck the edge, which was fair enough. So I thought I would do that today. So I made this little wooden brace just to seat my stones in. When I made it for this jewel stone here, which is the 1000 and 3000 grit, and it sort of fits in perfectly. But then I bought an 800 grit as well, and it's just a shade too long, maybe a mil or two. I could probably sand the edge off, to be honest, but I haven't bothered. But yeah, it just sits on the edge, that bit there, so it goes downwards at a slope. It's not a big deal when it comes to sharpening. So when I sharpen my knife, I'll do it in 3 parts. The flat part of the blades, because I feel it does the majority of the work when I'm out and about, and I'll give it 10 strokes on the stone. I'll then do where it curves up towards the tip, and I'll do that in 10 strokes. And then what I'll do is I'll sweep the whole blade in one go and do that 10 strokes, like this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now I'll do the curve of the blade up to the tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'll do the whole of the blade in one motion, and I'll do the same 10 strokes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then repeat the process on the opposite side. And that's me done with the 800 grit stone. And now I'll go into the double stone, which is a 1000 or 3000 grit. And I'll do the same process on the 1000 grit as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10. And then do the curves of the blade up to the tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, the process for the 800 and the 1000 grit stones are exactly the same, which is why I'll probably just fast forward rather than showing you the whole thing. The 3000 grit is a bit different, but I want to let it soak for a bit in the water a bit more before I move on to it. But yeah, when it comes to a knife with a Scandi grind, they are fairly easy to sharpen. They're kind of hard to mess up because they've got that such a big edge on them. It's easy to keep it flat on the stone and then slide it forward against the stone. You just have to make sure to keep the edge nice and flat against the stone, because when I first started out using my Mora on the stones, I would have the edge flat and then sliding it forward, but as I did, without realising, I was tilting the blade forward ever so slightly and the edge would then chisel into the stone. So you just have to be wary with that a bit. But yeah, Scandi grinds are fairly easy to sharpen. It's a bit more challenging with knives with like a micro bevel. Like this is a full flat grind with a micro bevel. I've seen videos where people they'll colour in the edge and then sharpen along a stone, and then as the pen gets removed from the edge you can see if you're sharpening it properly or if you've got the correct angle. I don't really colour in the edge. What I find to do is just put it on the stone, and then the stone and the edge of the knife, you can see there's like a little gap, so just tilt the edge the knife upwards to that until you can't see that gap anymore, and then you've got the correct angle, and just be vigilant and keep an eye on it as you're sliding the knife down the edge of the length of the stone. And yeah, it's easy enough. But yeah, we'll take the stone out now. So this is a 3000 grit, and then I've got the old DC4. I never use this anymore other than for the diamond side, just to help flatten the top of the 3000 grit stone off. Also helps to produce a little slurry, which helps in the sharpening process. And with the 3000 grit, what I do is just alternate on each side. So just sweep the blade down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'll do this for 60 strokes, and it'll be 30 strokes on each side. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. And that is it for the waterstones. So yeah, that's it for the waterstones. I've just given them a rinse under the tap and left them on the drainer to dry out before I put them away. But one of the last couple of stages that I like to do is use my honing stone that I take out into the field with me. It's the ruby sharpening stone. You can pick these up off eBay for about £10 to £15. They're made from sinter crystals, from synthetic ruby, but I just think it's an outstanding stone and it keeps an amazing edge on my knife when I'm out in the field, and even as part of the sharpening process when I'm back home. It may be a bold statement, but I believe it to be a lot better than a DC4 in my opinion. But yeah, so what I'll do is 10 strokes one way, 10 strokes the other way, and then 10 alternated. And then 10 alternated. So that's me done with the ruby stone, and that's usually just, I mean, when I go out now, the majority of the time when I go out, I do go out with this knife. So yeah, whenever I'm out in the field and I want to touch up the edge of this blade, this is the stone I'll use, I have with me. But what I also have glued onto this is a piece of leather on the back. And then this little pouch here, it's my sort of maintenance pouch. I keep some fire kit in here, but it's mostly maintenance type stuff. And one of the things I keep in here is Smurf's poo. So just put some on. And then for stropping, it's the opposite. So usually when you sharpen, you go forward. Stropping, you do it backwards. So start with the back of the blade against the bottom of the strop, and then just strop it backwards. One, and I'll alternate that 50 times, so 25 times on each side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, that's pretty much the process I go through when sharpening my knives when I get back home. And when I do a maintenance day on my tools. Obviously in the field it's not like that, because when I go out I only take this with me. I suppose I'll show that in a different video when I'm out and about. But yeah, so I suppose everybody's probably going to be wondering how sharp my knife actually is now. And I think this arm's probably bald enough from testing out that knife. So I suppose I'll do this knife, this arm even. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how silky smooth that part of my arm is now. But yeah. Oh, the other one is, you know, people like seeing pieces of paper getting cut. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I can't say no pieces of paper weren't harmed in this video now, can I though? So folks, that is how I sharpen my knives when I'm at home. I can appreciate, you know, kit maintenance type videos, they're not the sexiest of bushcraft subjects, but knife maintenance I think in particular is really important. You don't want to have a dull knife, they're dangerous when you're out in the ground. It means you have to put more pressure behind the cut, which means there's a greater chance of slippage and you can hit something vital and, you know, be in a pretty bad spot, especially when you're out in the bush. So yeah, keeping your knife sharp, learning how to do it is another important skill to learn. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you could share it. If you're not already one, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'd really appreciate it because it helps out my channel. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for watching. Take care.